Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be reviewing this die cut from TEMU. If you'd like to see what it looks like and how I go about it, stick around. I'm just going to take this die set apart. So it's got a couple of different pieces, and I did make these packets from laminating sheets. So if you haven't seen that video and you'd like to make some of these, you can go and check that out. They're very, very thin, these ones. A little bit worried about. It's always interesting when you get die cuts, when you have really small pieces like this. You always got to be a bit careful about where you put them afterwards. So what you've got here are, this is just a piece where you just need a blank or a pattern piece to go with it. And then these, they go on the inside of those reindeer antlers. And obviously this goes on the inside of the bow. So these pieces here, I'm going to see if I can cut them out of some of this glitter foam. And I'm just going to use pattern paper for this. So the matching glitter foam for the papers that I'm going to use. So just going through this paper pack. There's some really pretty papers in this one. But I want something that's just a little bit Christmassy but plain that I can use with the glitter. So I might take that one there actually, and we might try this one out first with some of this green glitter. So with my magnetic platform, I'm going to cut these two pieces. You have to excuse my table, it's a bit of a wonky table, this one, until such time as I can get another one. So we have that piece, and we have that piece. Good, good, good. And now, this is going to be the experimental part. Can I cut using these thinlits from this glitter? I don't know. I don't know that this is going to work. It might be too thick to go through the big shot machine, in which case I'm going to have to rethink the material that I use. So let's just give this a little bit of a crack and see whether or not we might have some luck with this. Well, it seemed to have gone through okay. So that's a good start. And yes, we have the pieces that we need. And the perfect thing about these pieces is they have got adhesive on the back, which is going to make it a hell of a lot easier for me when putting this thing together. Okay, so I'm going to be using a gold button along with this as well, so I might see if I can get the backing off that. It's okay. So to put this together, put this on top first. Like so. And while I'm here, I will put the antlers on. Okay, so that's looking good so far. Now the bow has to go around on itself. So you bring this piece around to the back, just trying to roll it so that it's going to not crinkle up. All right, so that needs to be joined at the back. The glue gun has heated up, and I had to do a little bit of a change because what I'm noticing is, because this isn't double-sided pattern paper, you're going to see that white. So it's going to work much better if you have got pattern paper that is on both sides. So I have this pattern paper that I got from Super Dollar up the road. It's a cheap shop, and I've taken some pieces and I've rejigged the colours that I'm going to use in terms of the glitter. So just letting you know that in case you've noticed a bit of a change of what I've got sitting on my desk. So glue gun is ready to go. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle. And then I can fold around the piece and have it glued in place. I don't want to put my fingers in it. I'm going to have to, I think. Now, if the bow is looking like it's a little bit flat, I'm just going to jig that out a little bit. I always put in a round dowel and just really try and get that shape. But I think that will do. And then that's going to go onto the front here. So I'll just put a little glue on either side. So that's there. And I grabbed hold of my Tim Holtz and I shoved it right at the back of where that pin was, and I managed to get it off, which has made a nice flat base for this nose section. So that's going to go right in the middle, like so. And there we have a very, very cute little ribbon that would go onto a tag of some description. So that has worked really, really well. I'm going to try some of the others now and get them going. So I'll just do a little bit of cutting and come back when I've got lots and lots of different pieces, and then we'll do some assembly. Right, so here are all the different pieces. I did decide to cut another one of these, which was the original one that I did. So I'm going to go ahead now and start putting these together. Right, I'm down to my last one just for this little batch, and I've come up with a few different things just to help you out. So if you do go ahead and purchase these dies at all, these are the things that I've learnt from using them today. I've made it a little bit harder for myself using the thicker glitter material, but I think it looks so good. It's worth the effort. What I ended up doing, instead of trying to hot glue down onto the bow and get it to work, I've just used some double-sided tape, and I've found that this has made it a little bit easier just to get the bow to sit long enough for you to get the hot glue into it. The other thing that I have been doing is using just a small thin, this is just one of my poker tools, just to roll the bow across so that it will actually give you that rounded edge, and it can come out of that every now and then. And obviously with the stretch in this bow can also suddenly pop open, but it kind of gives enough that you get a little bit of the bow shape, and you can always fix it up a little bit later. So I found that was really helpful to do. The other thing, and I think it's not quite even, then I use the hot glue on the back, and using the end of this tool, I just sort of hold that down until that's gotten itself fixed. And then taking a button. Now this does come with a piece that you can cut out and use for the middle of this decoration. However, I've decided to go with some of these older buttons that I've had lying around, so that's why I have them here on these. I just wanted to have it a little bit different. It was probably a lot more glue than what I wanted to put on there. And then popping that in there and just holding that down too, trying to avoid burning the fingers. These have turned out really, really good. I actually really love these, and I can see these as an embellishment for a Christmas tag at the top, or other Christmas projects that you're making. You could potentially add some string and have them as Christmas ornaments too. If you had a smaller tree and you wanted to have something to decorate it up with, this would be a great way to do that as well. So this is what they all ended up looking like. So I did make them, so we have pairs. There's a pair there because I managed to get buttons for those bits. These two look a little bit different because of the buttons, obviously. But this is a really, really cool little die. This is a really cool die. And you don't even need to use the antlers if you don't want to. I mean, you could just use the bow and make up a whole bunch of bows and use the little button in and use this piece with that. That would look great as well. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun today making these little embellishments. If you've had some fun, make sure you give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos coming up around everything DIY and craft. And until then, I will see you in the next video and keep creating. Thanks for watching. Bye.